Um, Earlier, you said we always felt very secure in this world. In a world where there's so much war and confrontation and aggression, that might seem odd to many people. Can you explain how you could feel so secure in this world?
Uh, so what actually I meant was totally different thing. Means if I felt very secure at the lotus feet of the master means the master is taking care. He will not allow us to take any wrong path, become an evil, corrupted. So he will always take care, put us on to the right path of spirituality, and the mind would not go into a corrupted mode because of His grace, and He is there to take care, He scold or pull up or do anything. So that way we felt secure that I'm going to be on the right path always. I'm not going to become evil or take a wrong path. So that was the thing. Uh, World is totally different. We feeling secure that our body, nothing will happen to our body. That is not the thing. The body will have to go one day, and if wars and conflicts have to end, all humanity have to work in that direction. If you remember, I have always told people give lectures and talk of peace, 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 but nobody works for peace. Nobody wants to behave in such a way that there can be peace. And that's why we don't have peace. If everybody can practice mind's purification, like meditation is one such wonderful therapy which can purify the mind. When that purified mind thinks, when you come out of the real meditation, and then if you have to think, if any thoughts come, that will be for a larger cause, it will be of a noble nature, it will not be corrupted into selfish or narrow-mindedness. So if you are still going to be selfish and narrow-mindedness means you did not meditate properly. So that is the one criteria. So that way we felt very secure.
Thank you, Avaji. You also said, um, I've always prayed to God, if you want to give me some power, I don't want any other power except the power to give some peace to this world, or at least to some people of this world. Can you explain more about that, please?
Because today humanity needs peace for its happiness. Not the emperorship, not the wealth, or not any powerful weapons, or nothing can keep anybody at peace. See, the countries, the more they gather the weapons and they feel insecure, the other one, out of competition, tries to discover or invent some technology and improve the weapon system. And then this country also has to go into such weapon system. So just the weapons does not make anybody feel secure at all. And the peace can come only when you feel totally secure, when you don't need anything. As long as you need anything, you tend to be anxious, lose that peace. What if it happens? What if it doesn't happen? What if I get this land? If I don't get land? If somebody robs this land? So all these type of things. That's why we thought that we pray to God only for peace, so that we can remain contented. That is the most elusive thing for humanity, if you agree. Till then, there is no peace. You may possess anything. The entire earth, world might be yours, and you might be the king. You might have the power to throw stones at others and to shoot down others and to put others behind bars and torture others. Do anything you want. Like the king said, I can do anything I want. But that will not make you secure. One day you will also die. The man who troubled everybody, he died. Like that, that is the proverb saying. So one day, so he might engulf others, but the death is waiting for him. So that's why we always felt we pray only for peace. If at all you want to give peace, so that I can give peace to this world. If you can give me any power, give me such a power that I can give peace to the world. Also, I have told, when people have asked questions about miracles, any person working miracle, I have told if anybody can wave their hand and give peace to the world, means every mind must become peaceful and they enjoy, what a beautiful thing, this man just waved and I felt peaceful. Things doesn't work like that, you see. If at all God, you want to give me some power, give me that power that I can give peace to the world, not just the chain or rings or bed sheets or the beds or the worlds or emperorship, kingship, nothing. Just if I can give you peace. So that's what I really meant, thinking about the peace, contentment. Isn't it? That's what people want. They're looking for this peace and happiness only. Simply if their path is not right, if they don't know how to get into that peaceful mode, so it's elusive. They keep searching for water in the desert type. So my peace and happiness and contentment is so elusive.
Thank you. And in order for us to have peace around us, how important is it for us to learn to understand other people? And how can we understand other people better?
This can be a bit tricky question, because if you have peace, you would like everybody to be at peace, you won't bother anybody. That is one thing. But if the others are trying to disturb the peace, then to establish peace, you may have to work out. Simply, if you remain peaceful, others may not become peaceful. Sometimes you may pull up others, you may take a cane to make others to remain at peace. That's why Sri Krishna said this war was necessary. But in Bhagavad Gita, he never taught any violence. He taught non-violence, peace for all. That's the dharma, he said. But if some people fail to listen, fail to understand, then you need to take up a cane to make them understand. If needed, you may need to get rid of them also to have peace, to establish peace, to give peace to others. Majority of the people, when they are peace-loving people, you want to give them peace, then you have to work. Like in the ashram, I am in the ashram, that's how I can give an example of the ashram. I am not a king or an emperor to talk of my kingdom. If anybody is making the peace disturbing, I may tolerate some time, I may keep quiet, but when they cross all boundaries, then one day I may have to take a cane and hit them. Are you going to remain peaceful? Are you going to treat others properly? Are you going to treat like this? If you cannot treat others well, you stay away then. So like that. So that's what everybody has to work for peace. And surroundings also, a real peace-loving person. That's what I have felt since childhood. Wherever I have had been, I have worked for peace. Have peace. What is there for you to break or give or take? Even this also I told after my tapas coming out, what do we have to give and take except love and honor? There is nothing, I don't have anything else to give you. I don't need anything else from you to take. Just give some love, some peace. Let us love each other. Let us talk sweetly. We don't have to be rude to each other. Let's inquire about each other's welfare. Let us try to understand. When others become rude to others, I feel they are They have animal instincts, they don't have the human instincts. So they have belittled themselves because they are unable to understand or behave with others in a proper human touch. See, even if there is any differences, we can talk. We are human beings. We don't have to be barking like dogs unnecessarily. So that's what. When everything fails, then finally we may have to bark. That's a different thing. We have to take a cane. That's why. Now, if you observe in Mahabharata, that story is very lesson learning for everybody. They explored all other avenues before they went for war. They tried to compromise, they tried to reduce their needs. If not that kingdom, give us only 5 villages, small places. That's enough, we will live peacefully. Independently, with self-respect, we want to live, give us that. The other side person didn't want to give. He said, in the story it says, he said, I am not going to give even the tip of a needle of that land. No, nothing. So then the war became inevitable. So that is how things has to work. But often in this world, what we get to see, when it comes to them, they talk of it is unacceptable, it is terrorism, we have to put down this terrorism. But if other countries are suffering, they tell no peace, no peace, no peace. But they want them to be fighting. So that type of things, we are human beings always have double standards, what we call it. One justice for ourselves, another justice for others. We have to work for peace. Terrorism can come to an end if every country puts an end to that and tell them in firm tone that no more this terrorism, enough is enough. You cannot kill innocent people. You want to fight? Fight with the army then. Those who have weapons. That was the rule in ancient times. You know, in Mahabharata, that's the fun is, when Bhishma was there, the rules were laid down. Only one could fight with another person of the equivalent rank in the army also. Like, if he was a charioteer, you fight with only a charioteer. You are not going to kill the person on the ground. If you had weapons, if the person didn't have weapon, you are not going to attack such a person. If that day, if a person wanted to retire, was tired, was going to the camp, you are not going to attack such a person. So imagine that type of righteousness was followed. But slowly that got lost. They lost all rules and regulations. They became vengeance. They went into such anger. By hook or crook, kill them. Hook or crook, I need to win. Finish this, that one, this one. So everybody had to indulge this like that. So that's how the world has lost its peace and tranquility, and people have lost nobility, and they have become victims of their own corrupted minds to survive. So it's a very tricky situation always, how we are going to explain the situation when you are forced to defend. So we would like to defend the ashram so that there is peace, because it is a public utility place where people can come and sit peacefully and do meditation and sadhana. They should not get scared and run away. So for that only we have to work. If necessary, we will defend. So that's what we would like to convey the message. But we are for non-violence.
Somebody asked, is peace an imagination, but a higher imagination?
Wanting the peace can be said as an imagination. Peace itself is not imagination. Peace is an experience of enjoyable serenity, quietness in the mind, and contented feeling, total secure and enjoyable happiness always. That is the experience. That is not an imagination. Before you have the peace, when your mind is totally disturbed and terribly, so then you have to imagine peace. Oh God, how imagine how the peace can be. I want peace. What this peace means, how this peace can come. So wanting the peace is imagination, and peace itself, achieving peace, is an experience. It's you.
Thank you. Somebody asked, will it mean losing my passion for life with all its dualities of happiness and unhappiness and love and hate, all the drama of life, if we have this just peace all the time?
Not necessary. You can have the passion. You will have the passion to live peacefully. Make others at peace. Tell them to give you peace, and you enjoy the peace, come what may be. No problem at all. You can have the passion of whatever way of life you are leading. I have peace all the time, but I am passionate to answer your questions, to teach meditation. I am passionate. Whenever people want to sit for meditation, I am happy to teach them. I am passionate. Just because I have peace, there is no need that don't have to work. I will have the passion, always teaching the right things and the spiritual truths. So these things can always be there. Simply, what are the achievements? When you achieve peace, your mind will not be corrupted, evil anymore. You will fight the evil or the corrupted. You won't give up things. That's what becomes the necessary things. So thus you will have a passion to fight the evil in that way. But you will have the peace all the time if you achieve peace. We work for that only. We always try to work for peace. 5 years, 10 years, we struggle to have peace in the ashram. People come and they keep disturbing peace, but we work out for peace. We try to bear with them. We draw a line. But if they cross every boundary line, then we have to act upon also. Hissing noise, psst, 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 stay away. Let us have our peace. If you don't like to have peace, you go somewhere else. If you like to have peace, you be here. This is for peace. So like that, we won't have to lose any passion for anything you take up. Simply, you will not be corrupted or evil. You will not be selfish or narrow-minded. You would like to see that everybody has peace.
Thank you. There is a saying, blessed are the peacemakers. Is that the highest goal of living in the world, to create peace between people?
Yeah, because that's what humanity is looking for. Simply, they are misguided. They don't know how to achieve that peace. What is the permanent peace? They themselves don't have peace, so they don't want others to have peace. All those people who disturb others, who are rude to others, who keeps pulling up others, bullying others, that means they don't have peace. That's why they are indulging in such acts. They are unable to live with all contentment. They don't have enough to live, whatever the way they want to live. And that's why they are poking their fingers at others also. So they become jealous. I don't have peace. How dare he is having his peace? I must disturb him. Let me bully him. Let me shout at him unnecessarily. That's how people keep doing. I have seen, it's only, see, in the ashram itself we see, sometimes we have 4 people or 6 people. If all the 6 people are peace-loving, their temperament is quietness, talk a little bit wherever necessary. There is so much of peace, there is no issue at all, no problem at all. But sometimes suddenly 4 other people come. They cannot keep quiet. They cannot enjoy their meal. They cannot sit for meditation and enjoy their peace. They have to be disturbing others. They have to talk something nonsense. They have to use their brains to create disturbance. They want, oh, do this one, why this one, I need this one, you are like this, why you are like this, pulling up others, being rude others, and the peace gets disturbed. It's a human temperament, attitude. So if 4 people are there or 40 people are there, Peace can be there if everybody has the same temperament, everybody loves the peace, to be at peace. Otherwise, we might imagine if I am alone, then there might be peace. But again, my mind has to be in peace. If I go to a cave, if I take my mind which is not peaceful, then I won't have peace there also. I might feel like banging my head onto the wall of the cave. So that's how the peace comes. We have to work for peace, make everybody, one needs to have the power to govern properly so that there is peace. Otherwise, by looking into the thing, oh, how to tell this man, he is my own, he might feel hurt if I pull him up. He is pulling up everyone. If I pull him up, he will be hurt. See the fun of this world always. This person, one country tries to bully all others. If he gets bullied, then he is annoyed. He is irritated. He starts shouting. So this is what we get to see in the world. Every day news comes. That country is bullying. So if another country tries to ask it to mind its business, it gets annoyed. How dare it talk? Type of thing. We ask it, oh, why did you cut the tree in the ashram? That person gets annoyed. How dare you ask me? I wanted it to be cut and I cut. That's it. I am the king. See, that's why. And then the conflict happens. Everybody loses peace. We are scared that any moment anybody can keep cutting something and can taking the land. Every moment we have to be careful and alert. And the other person always working out in the brain what to do next, what to do for my selfishness, how to build my room, how to cut the other's trees, anything. Just for example, this keeps coming, but we got to see all those things. And then there is loss of peace. My Guru says, you meditate, and you meditate, you meditate. If all the 3 or 4 keep meditating, where is the time to have any conflict? Where is the time to fight? Where is the time to get annoyed? Where is the time to lose peace? We don't have time to lose peace also. We are at peace. It's we human beings who make the world lose peace. We have to practice peace. We need to achieve peace for ourselves so that we can allow others to have their peace. We need to overcome the selfish and narrow-mindedness in us. Everybody, only then there is peace.
So you refer to nations and also individuals. If we try to be a peacemaker, is there a danger that we're just trying to impose our standards and definition on other people and actually causing confrontation rather than peace?
Yeah, some people may like, some may not like. We want peace to be worked out. When we pull up both, all of you remain peaceful, remain wherever you are, have your peace. You do your thing, let them do their things. Don't try to disturb each other. Let them live their life, you live your life. It's a very tricky situation, not easy to establish or decide or say. We have to work out each and every case. We have to try to go to the root cause. Who was the troubleshooter first? How did this situation arise? That's what is needed. That nobody wants to touch this topic. This is very sensitive. If you go to the root cause of who was the first one who tried to disturb the peace, why did it happen? This truth nobody wants to accept. If you try to work out for this truth, they might consider you are a danger for them. They might like to get rid of you first, who is trying to work for peace. That's what happens with a saint, always, with a yogi. Many people become their enemies because they teach peace for humanity. All of you live in peace. Since time immemorial, in different parts of the world, saints have come, sages have come, yogis have come. They have always advocated peace. love each other, forgive each other. This has to happen from everyone. Not if one person keeps forgiving, he gets slapped every now and then and he gets his head broken. So that's what happens. Everybody has to forgive each other, learn to live peacefully, talk politely. This is all very important. Language is very important. Not to lose temper unnecessarily every now and then. Then everybody has peace and life becomes so beautiful. I spoke of nations because to say a larger part from a small human being, from a family, in a home, from the society, from a country and the countries and the world. I have always told we are thankful that so far we haven't found any living species anywhere else. In 5,000, 10,000 light years distance also so far, people are struggling. A new planet has appeared, a new planet has been discovered, but luckily no life so far. Because conflict starts, then again it increases. Now we talk of only the conflict in the world. Then we will have to start talking conflicts in the worlds, in all the worlds. If 10 worlds are there, everybody is fighting for supremacy. If we are strong, we try to invade the other. If they are strong, they try to invade us and make us lose our peace, our culture, everything they try to dominate. This is what the stories always happen, but there is nobody so far. So this is what happens. That is also jokingly. That's why I have spoken many times. Next time when creation happens, I will request God not to create human beings, please. I will tell God, then only you will also have peace. All the 129 people sitting now, take a pledge that you will achieve peace for yourself by meditating regularly, and you will work for peace. You will not allow anybody to disturb peace. May you all be blessed by Shiva Balayogi, our beloved master.
Thank you. So from that I take it the first thing we need to do if we want peace is to make ourselves peaceful and work on ourselves first.
Yes. Only whatever you have, you can give that to others. If you don't have peace, how can you give peace to others? You need to have peace. Then you can give peace to others.
Okay. You mentioned earlier about Krishna and how he fought in a battle. And there's also the example in Christianity where Christ threw people out of the temple for conducting business. But when they did that, they were acting in a very different way to most human beings. They had peace within themselves, even whilst they were taking those actions.
Yeah, perhaps at those times what we can understand is that other people, they were not listening to have peace or to live in peace. They had become quite corrupted and selfish, narrow-minded. They were making others to lose peace. Then it became necessary to get rid of them, to establish peace. Means like people like Krishna, he dreamt peace for the society, for the country, for the world, not just for a family or just for himself or anybody else. Whereas all others who were in the war, in the story, when we read and scrutinize, try to understand, all others had their own personal or specific reason. Some wanted to take a revenge, somebody had been subjected to injustice and he wanted to take a revenge. Another had taken a pledge, I will protect this kingdom. So whatever the kings do, I will protect the kingdom. So these things becomes different, you see. You protect the kingdom, but what if the king is an evil person? He is disturbing the peace of the subjects. Then what is the use of protecting such a kingdom? That could not be thought. So, but he wanted to protect the kingdom. He said, as long as I am alive, I have to protect the kingdom. Like this, everybody had their own reasons. Had some relatives, because my relative is in the war, I have to fight for him. My son-in-law is in the fighting a war, then I have to support with all my army. So many things, these are all. Only one, Sri Krishna was one person who wanted that war to happen just to get rid of the evil people, so that the entire subcontinent or the world can have peace. Those people come into ruling who can give peace, who can work for righteousness, who can work justice, always right thing. Everybody is taken care without any selfishness for the king. So that was the reason Krishna dreamt. That's the reason they wanted, when it became inevitable, said, we have to fight this war. Arjuna, you have to fight this war to establish dharma. That's what Krishna said. But he was not for any violence. He taught peace and tranquility, achieving peace to one's own self, self-realization, and the yoga of the mind, health of the mind he taught.
So you mentioned there the word dharma. Can you explain more on what dharma means, please?
See, dharma is literally, in a grammar meaning, our duties. If we undertake the three of the dharmas to take care of our physical body and take care of the mind and take care of our moral values, this everything comes under this moral values. To establish peace, to give justice to people, take care of all subjects equally, no, without any discrimination. Like that, we have to think, a king will have to think of the country, not just to think that he needs to be in the power, for that he is ready to do anything. Like Duryodhana, he just wanted to be in the power. He wanted the kingdom for himself, as if it was his personal property, not for sake of ruling people and giving justice to them. That is the dharma which Krishna wanted to establish. Everybody gets peace. Everybody has justice. Not that you look after your own children in a different way and you scold others in a different way. So that is not justice. Justice means all are same. So you give peace to everybody, you give your love and care to everybody. So that's necessary. So that's what Sri Krishna wanted to teach. Dharma means.
So up until now, we've talked particularly about world peace and worldly peace and peace within people. But ultimately, you talk about supreme peace. And is that a very different thing? Can you talk to us, please, about supreme peace?
We try to use the word of supreme peace. What type of peace? So somebody thinks, if I have the kingdom in my hands, I will have peace, he thinks. Another person thinks, if I have $1 billion, I will have peace, he thinks that way. So thus, what type of peace? So if I get sweets and chocolates and ice creams every day, I will have peace, a child thinks. Another thinks, if I have a helicopter, or if I can own an aircraft, I will have peace. If I have the company, if I am the owner. So like that, everybody may have their own definitions for peace. So thus comes now what can be the supreme peace. A supreme peace which has no second, nothing else come to competition with that peace. Once that is achieved, that is supreme. That is the peace of mind, peace within. We achieve our self-awareness. So that's why we would tend to call this as supreme peace, achieving supreme peace. Like for this only I have told the example. The divine wants to give you the supermarket and you are looking for a small chocolate. So that is the difference between the actual peace. The divine wants to give you peace within. You make you peaceful. You can become peaceful only when you are contented. This contentment can come only when you become aware of your real self, when you know yourself, when you have found yourself, and when you are able to abide in yourself. You abiding in yourself is the supreme peace. So I always told in scriptures also talk, yogis always remain totally contented in themselves. They don't need anything else for their contentment or peace. That means they have found that self. That is the supreme peace we talk.
Several people have sent in a question asking about peace and truth. What is the relationship between peace and truth, please?
If you find the truth about yourself, you become peaceful. Until you do not find the truth about yourself, you work for yourself only everything. You want to have that happiness, you want to have that enjoyment, but if you don't know how to get that one, you might be simply end up shouting at others, thinking that you can get happiness by shouting at others. So that's because you don't have peace and you don't know what the truth is, truth about yourself, truth about this world, which is impermanent, which is permanent, which can give you permanent peace, which can give you only impermanent peace. So that is the peace and truth have to be together. If you know the truth, automatically you will have the peace, because the truth is ultimate and it is permanent, eternal. It is totally contentment because it doesn't need anything else. Just for example, see, space doesn't need anything else for its existence. It exists in itself. But the world needs space. Universe needs space. Galaxies need space. They all exist in the space. But you remove every galaxy, then there is space. Space is not depending on anything else. Total independence, you see. So that's what can give you total peace and contentment. That's the peace and truth together. You need to know the truth, then you have peace. Wonderful. Today, all of you have participated in this beautiful session, another opportunity that you all had. Once again, I repeat, I don't get tired. After today, continue your practice every day. Don't simply wait for a Saturday only for me to come online live. I am alive in your hearts. I am always with you all. See me within and you will see the peace within. Practice every day this meditation, at least for 1 hour. Achieve that in 1 hour you are able to keep quiet. You are able to keep the mind quiet. You are able to remain focused. Achieve that. Practice every day.